If Night 1 of WrestleMania was polarizing and controversial, then Night 2 was very simply very fun, very good, and very entertaining. This was a massive pickup from Night 1. Night 2 definitely showed up and showed out massively, and yeah, kind of saved WrestleMania in a way. We saw just a lot of big moments, a lot of better matches, and yeah, everything about this was just absolutely fantastic. People have been calling it cinema. I would kind of agree in a way. We saw, a surprise retirement in a way, one that, well, more of a shocking retirement. We saw a fantastic ladder match and a probably match of the year for WWE so far main event. So, we'll get into the thoughts of the whole show coming up very soon. I'll ask you very nicely to subscribe as we are on the road to 1K subs. I'd love to get there by maybe SummerSlam, maybe. So yes. Do enjoy this video, do subscribe, and let's get into my review of WrestleMania 42 Night 1. So the show kicked off with John Cena once again. He kind of addressed the crowd, addressed how Night 1 went, and yeah, we then saw the aesthetic of the WrestleMania change, or the set changed from the rusty kind of Mad Max type thing to the futuristic blue that we had, but I much preferred the futuristic blue to the kind of rustic brown Mad Max kind of thing going on. I thought the blue fit WrestleMania a lot better. But we went to the opening match, which was of course Obafemi defeating Brock Lesnar, and yeah, this match couldn't have gone better in my opinion. And yeah, Obafemi, he didn't dominate the match. Well, he did for the most part, actually. But Omar had an absolutely fantastic performance. Brock Lesnar did get some leaks in, but not a lot. Oba held the ring throughout the whole feud and throughout the match as well. And yeah, it was good to see Brock Lesnar kind of help out a massively future world champion many times over, hopefully. And yeah, no, we only saw, I don't know, the finish was done really well where Oba took the F5. He didn't completely no-sell it, but he was onto his knees and fell down again and then got up for the chokeslam, which I thought was selling the F5 well, but also showing it didn't have as much effect as Brock Lesnar is used to it having on his opponent. Yep, we saw the chokeslam, and then we saw the fall from grace, and Brock Lesnar loses what seems to be his last match in WWE, as he left his boots and his gloves in the ring. And yeah, it seems like he has retired, which thank you very much, Brock Lesnar. I have been a big fan of Brock Lesnar for a long time, probably since he came back in 2012. And as much as, the part-time stuff really hurt him as far as people's views on him, and then the other stuff. But I've always been a fan of Brock Lesnar. I enjoy his matches, and yeah, it's kind of sad to see him go in the end. But I'm glad that I said that he has put over a huge future star in Obafemi, and yeah, for me, I see Oba now as a surefire main eventer, and also with him calling out Roman Reigns on the post show as well, just shows that WWE also see him as a surefire main eventer as well. And yeah, I've got a feeling that in 2026 we might see Obafemi become a world champion, which I cannot wait to see. After that, we had the Intercontinental Championship ladder match, which was absolutely fantastic. It was second best match of the night, second best match of WrestleMania in general. It was absolutely a barrel of fun, and also it's good because, compared to the ladder matches at WrestleMania 31 and WrestleMania 32, this match was longer than both of those matches. So there can't really be any complaints of match length for this one. But yeah, this was fantastic. We saw some great highlights. JD McDonough taking a Mexican Destroyer on a ladder. Looked brutal, but took really well, and hopefully he is okay. We saw, what was it? Rey Mysterio did a West Coast spot to Rusev through a ladder, which is a cool spot. And then later on in the match, we saw John Evans do a beautiful OG cutter to Rusev off the ladder as well. Rusev took an absolute beating, but it makes sense that he's the one that takes the big impact moves, as he's the biggest guy in the match. They're trying to take him out. So yeah, everything about this worked really well. I know some people were questioning the people involved. I think it was a great shout having all these people have a kind of, they're not star-making performances as much, but just having big showings on a big stage. Everybody kind of won and benefited from this one, apart from Rey Mysterio. He's a bastard. But yeah, Penta getting the win made the most sense. I'll avoid seeing what Penta does. I can't see him holding the belt for much longer. Maybe as far as Backlash, maybe in Clash in Italy goes. But yeah, I look forward to seeing what else his reign has to bring. Moving on, we saw probably one of the more bigger crowd reactions of the night as Trick Williams defeated Sami Zayn to become the new United States champion. I couldn't have been more happy with this. I think WWE would have looked like absolute tools if they'd not put the championship on Trick Williams. He is over as a Rover right now. They didn't quite do the double turn, I don't think. I know a lot of people were still booing Sami Zayn. I would assume that around Royal Rumble time we'll end up going to Saudi. Well, I mean, we'll end up going to Saudi again relatively soon. And around Royal Rumble time, we'll end up going to Canada, so then people will cheer Sami Zayn. But yeah, for me, Trick has probably made the biggest impression as far as like interactions with everybody goes since coming up to the main roster. I know that Oba has had big impacts with big players, but Trick has been consistent all the time with in-ring work and promos as well. So I'd probably say that Trick and Oba were the main two. I know Javon has had a lot of matches as well, but he's been a lot lower down the card compared to the other two. But yeah, Trick Williams winning the United States Championship is absolutely the right call. I feel like it's not going to hurt the momentum of the United States Championship because Sami Zayn didn't have it for that long. And Trick will very clearly keep the United States Championship at the point where Ilya and Carmelo both had throughout the year, and also Trick Williams can feud with Carmelo and Trick as he has before in NXT, and we know that we can rely on those two feuds and to deliver whenever we need them to. So yeah, everything about this worked out really well. Probably one of the biggest reactions of the night, Trick's entrance and Trick winning the championship, and I couldn't have been more happier with it. Moving on to the next match, which was Finn Balor, or Demon Finn Balor, defeating Dominic Mysterio. I really don't have a lot to say on this one. This one exactly how I expected it to. Balor got a convincing win. Dom did get some licks in, and they did change this to a street fight, which was good. But yeah, it just helped out like Balor to be able to do more extreme stuff, but also it helped out Dom in a way that like he could hit Balor with weapons and kind of get that offense back on the Demon without having to essentially out-wrestle him. I've got a feeling we might carry this back on to Backlash maybe, or maybe they'll have a feud on Raw where it's just Balor versus Dom. But I do wonder what they're going to do with Balor post-WrestleMania. It does feel like Dominic Mysterio is in a position where he can maybe go up towards the upper mid-card. Maybe he goes back into the Intercontinental Championship scene, whereas Balor kind of feels like he's going to continue to be lost in the shuffle. So I feel like even though Finn Balor won this match here and he got the win over, the guy, we're supposed to believe the guy that betrayed him, when really Balor turned on Dom. But yeah, I can't help but feel like in a few months we're going to see this and be more like, well, Dominic Mysterio actually benefited from this more than Balor did, which wouldn't shock me because Balor just is completely underutilized throughout, but I'm so used to it at this point that I don't have any kind of investment in Balor like I do Dominic Mysterio. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of a weird one, but I feel like Dom's actually going to end up long term like being the winner of this rather than Balor, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Balor gets the win. It was a fine match, but yeah, it was probably the weakest match on this show, to be fair. Moving on from the probably weakest match to a match that fully impressed me, and I couldn't have been more wrong in my prior statements about Rhea and Cargill. I said to many people, I said on here, I said on the podcast channel, I said on Uncut, that I was very concerned about how this match was going to go, and I was shown that there was no reason to be worried at all. Rhea and Cargill fully delivered on their match. It was a good match. It was probably, I'd probably go as far as to say it was the third best match of this night. Probably not the third best match of WrestleMania, but yeah, it was very good. These two worked very well together. They clicked as far as chemistry goes. The interference made sense and was done properly to a degree where it didn't feel like it was shooed in like it did with Rollins and Gunther a little bit. And yeah, Rhea came out on top, which I'm very happy with. I'm a much bigger Rhea Ripley fan than I'm Jade Cargill fan, and hopefully Rhea goes on to defend this championship way more than Cargill did. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw this as a rematch at SummerSlam, but hopefully we see the same result again, which is Rhea defeating Cargill. But yeah, no, I was fully impressed with this match. I had no reason to be concerned, and yeah, everything else worked very well. Plus, Jade Cargill hit a one-winged angel. Of all the people on this card, with Gunther, with Rollins, with Punk, with Roman, with Trick, with Sammy, with Oba, of all the people in the Intercontinental ladder match, I would have never have seen Jade Cargill hitting a one-winged angel, ever. Kenny Omega would be turning in his grave, even though he's not dead. He'll be turning in his bed. I don't know. But yeah, very surprised to see that out of Jade Cargill. And Rhea kicked out, so her and MJF and her and Adam Page, I believe. Only a few people have kicked out that one-winged angel, so, and if anything, that should be a finisher, but, it is what it is. But yeah, also a beautiful last part of the sequence for this match where Cargill was going for Jaded, Rhea reversed it into a Riptide absolutely beautifully. It was so smooth and so well done, and yeah, I've got nothing but positive to say about this one, and I'm so glad I'm able to say that about this match. Following that, we saw just a load of bollocks, man. That's all I can really say. Danhausen, John Cena, and Miz and Kit Wilson had this whole segment. There was mini Danhausens. yeah, it was crap. It was rubbish. I did not care for this at all. I didn't want this on my WrestleMania and couldn't have cared less about it. So I'm just going to quickly move on because it was just stupid crap that we didn't need. And yeah, then we got to the main event, which was by far, by a country mile, the best match of WrestleMania. Probably the best WWE match to date. Like, for this year, sorry, not to date. Yeah, it's probably the best WWE match of the year so far. It was absolutely fantastic. Roman and CM Punk worked the match really well. We both had special entrances. It worked out very well as far as the entrances go. But yeah, the match itself was absolutely fantastic. It proves once again that you really can just rely on CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And see, essentially just CM Punk and people that apparently hate him. You can rely on them to put on an absolute banger, whether it's Punk and Drew, Punk and Rollins, Punk and Roman. They just deliver every time. And yeah, two fantastic main events from these 2 years back to back. And yeah, just everything else worked out. I got really invested because I really didn't want Roman to win. And then obviously I'm a massive CM Punk fan, as you guys all know. But yeah, no, this worked out really well. People who said that the match should have ended by disqualification because of the step spot just don't like wrestling. They just don't, because they're just silly. Like, people can mention it and shout about it in a sarcastic way. If the match had stopped by disqualification there, would you have been genuinely happy? I've gone, yes, thank God that they obeyed the rules of the match. And now CM Punk is champion. He won the match. Fantastic. What a great way to finish WrestleMania. I love rules. No, you wouldn't. You'd be absolutely furious. People would have probably seen this as one of the worst WrestleManias of all time if this match had ended by DQ because of the step spot. Clearly, the referee was showing leniency because it's the main event WrestleMania. It's the World Championship match in the main event of WrestleMania. Of course, he's not going to DQ someone for using the steps. And plus, the blood of CM Punk added to the storytelling of the match. So yeah, I was absolutely okay with this. If you genuinely have an issue with this, please don't watch. Because you're clearly just taking this way, way, way too seriously. And yeah, it's just completely silly. But yeah, as I said, absolutely fantastic main event. It got the time it needed as well. It was 34 minutes, I believe it clocked in as. I haven't checked properly. It was the only match of the whole WrestleMania card that got the time it should have got. And yeah, there's no coincidence that because it got the time it got, it got the time it deserved, it then became the best match on the show, on the entire show. You know, that is just no coincidence. But yeah, absolutely fantastic main event, probably one of the better ones of the last few years. And once again, Night 2 seems to have delivered way more than Night 1 did and kind of saved this WrestleMania. So those are my thoughts and opinions on WrestleMania 42 Night 2. Yeah, do put a card in the comments below what you thought of WrestleMania 42 Night 2 and as a whole. Of course, be nice about Night 1. I mean, I enjoyed Night 1 for the most part. There was just the issue was timing and lack of wrestling. And to be fair, we kind of got the same on Night 2. Some matches just got a little bit longer than Night 1, but yeah, it kind of is what it is, I guess. Like, to be fair, this WrestleMania probably evens out quite nicely as just a okay or a good WrestleMania, but just good. As Night 1 wasn't that good, but Night 2 absolutely killed it and saved WrestleMania, so, you know, put it all together and you've just got a bang average WrestleMania, which is fine. But yeah, I feel like at this point, with all the talent that was on show, this should have been one of the best WrestleManias we have ever seen. But, of course, that wasn't the case because people just weren't allowed to wrestle for a long time. It has come out since that Liv and Fakir didn't get the time that they needed because both were very banged up after the build, which does not shock me at all because they beat the crap out of each other in the build for this. But it is what it is. I feel like, you know, I'm not disappointed in this WrestleMania. I just wanted more out of it. And, you know, it's okay for the most part. I just hope that, you know, especially in the likes of Roman Reigns winning the World Championship, that he does stick around. He said that he is. Now, whether he's going to start doing every B-show pay-per-view remains to be seen, to be honest with you. And, you know, we'll see in 3-4 weeks if Roman is still around consistently every week on Raw as World Champion. Because you got to remember at the same time, Roman Reigns famously called the World Heavyweight Championship the secondary belt. So him winning it, I assume he now takes those comments back. So it's an interesting way to go. But yeah, I can't say I'm happy with Roman winning the championship. Hopefully he is around the whole time, but it's more a case of believe it when I see it. Not to be all negative at the end. Rhea and Cargill absolutely blew me away with their match. I was so happy with the fact that they delivered. And yeah, Oba getting the win over Brock, I could not have been more happy with. And hopefully this means that Oba's about to become probably the superstar of 2026. So at least have a massively breakout year as well. I'd probably clock him in for a King of the Ring win. I'm not gonna lie, this is my brother's been saying this for pretty much all year. Is Marco be down for a King of the Ring win? The ruler of the ring, if you will. So, yeah, I think he might be onto something there, I'm not going to lie. And he said it during the January podcast, so go and check that one out if you haven't seen it. We do a load of predictions for the whole year. But we did do it a while ago, so I understand why you haven't seen it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Say, do in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts of WrestleMania as a whole is, as well as Night 2 specifically. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.